All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today we're doing something absolutely incredibly useful. We are taking a conversational English language source, which is just full of great banter and natural dialogue, and we're transforming it into a super fast, highly organized study guide. If you have ever struggled to speak natural English when someone simply asks, "Hey, how was your day?" Well, this is exactly for you. We've stripped away all the filler to give you exactly what you need to upgrade your vocabulary and sound like a native speaker in under 10 minutes.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with step 1, moving from robot to natural English. Then 2, the simple story formula. 3, essential phrases for yesterday. 4, describing quiet or hard days. 5, a quick review and study guide. And finally, 6, a test your understanding section to lock in your learning. Let's get to it.
Starting off with Section 1, from robot to natural English, we are officially escaping the robot diary.
Now, the absolute biggest trap English learners fall into is the dreaded robot diary. You know the drill? I woke up, I worked, I ate, I slept. Day completed, food consumed, human tired. It literally just relies entirely on the past simple tense to list off verbs. But natural English? It's like a mini story. It adds feelings and small details. Instead of just listing what you did, you're layering in your actual human experience.
And this right here hits the nail on the head. It's the core philosophy behind natural speech. The massive difference between simply reporting and actually reflecting. Reporting is just stating the cold facts. I cleaned my room. Okay, cool. But reflecting, that's telling us what those facts mean to you right now. Cleaning took a while, but I feel proud. So the big takeaway here is that when you talk about yesterday, don't just hand someone a list of events like a plain, dry cake. Add your feelings and reflections. That is the frosting.
Moving right along to Section 2, the simple story formula. We're going to build your answers block by block.
Listen, whenever someone asks about your day, you really don't need to panic or search your brain for words. Just follow these 3 super easy steps. Step 1, start with the time and an overall feeling. Yesterday was. Step 2, state the action or the main event. I had a lot going on. And step 3, share the result or how you reflect on it now. It turned out. Literally just snap these 3 building blocks together every single time. Look at how beautifully this quote from our source material puts that whole formula together. Yesterday was eventful. Boom, overall feeling. I had a lot going on, but I managed to finish most of it. There is your action. It turned out better than I expected. And there is your result. It is a perfectly natural B2 level response that honestly sounds incredibly fluent, but is actually so simple to build.
All right, Section 3, essential phrases for yesterday. Time to upgrade that vocabulary so we can plug some great words into that formula we just learned.
First up, we have eventful. Now, if your day wasn't just, busy, but actually completely full of unexpected tasks, like you thought it'd be quiet, but suddenly you have 3 new errands to run, eventful is absolutely the perfect word for that. It just means full of things happening.
And here's exactly how you use it. In our source, Jake used this exact sentence. Yesterday was more eventful than I expected. That is a fantastic, highly natural sentence to just keep in your back pocket for when a normal day suddenly goes completely sideways.
Next up is ran into. Oh, this is a brilliant phrasal verb. Use this to describe those surprising moments that just happen totally out of nowhere. It literally means meeting someone by chance, completely without planning it. Kind of like just walking down the aisle at the supermarket, and bam, there's your neighbor.
Notice how this quote just beautifully layers the vocabulary together. I unexpectedly ran into an old friend, and we ended up talking for almost an hour. Using unexpectedly adds this really nice extra punch of surprise to ran into. And don't miss ended up. That's a crucial little phrase meaning something happened even though it definitely wasn't your original plan.
Okay, Section 4, describing quiet or hard days. We've got to keep it honest but balanced, right? Not every single day is an action movie. Sometimes days are messy, difficult, or just completely boring.
First in this category is overwhelmed. Our source uses this absolutely brilliant metaphor for this. It's when you feel like your brain has 20 open browser tabs, one of them is playing music, and you literally cannot find which one. When everything needs your attention all at once, saying you feel overwhelmed is totally honest, but it's way softer and more natural than just saying, my day was a total disaster.
So how do we balance out that negative feeling? Like this. Yesterday felt a bit overwhelming at first, but I've managed to finish the important things. Do you see that? Adding managed to is incredibly powerful. It tells the listener that, yeah, the day was an uphill battle, but you succeeded. You survived the to-do list.
Our next essential word is worthwhile, meaning it was absolutely worth the time, effort, or energy. Listen, this word is your best friend when it comes to flipping a frustrating story into a positive reflection. Like, the meeting was incredibly long, but it turned out to be worthwhile.
But wait, what if absolutely nothing happened? You know, a totally boring Tuesday. You really don't need to invent a crazy Hollywood plot for that. This is the perfect, natural way to describe a quiet day. I stayed home, caught up on a few things, and took it easy. Saying nothing major happened or you caught up on sleep is 100% fine and sounds highly fluent. All right, we are at Section 5, Quick Review and Study Guide. Let's consolidate all of this right now and lock in these 5-minute revision notes.
I highly recommend you snap a screenshot of these 5 core lessons right now. Seriously, this is your ultimate cheat sheet to remember how to build a beautiful mini story out of literally any day. Remember, escape the robot diary by reflecting on your day. Stick to your magic 3-part formula: time, action, result. Soften those overwhelming days by saying you managed to get through it and never feel bad about having a quiet day.
And here it is, the absolute holy grail of this explainer, your master vocabulary table. Pin this, save it to your phone, whatever you need to do to keep it handy. We've pulled the absolute most important phrases directly from the source material so you can learn them fast, complete with simple meanings and examples. You'll see heavy hitters here like turned out, meaning the final result was a certain way, or look back on, which is just perfect for reflecting on a past event. Having all of this in one single high-yield table makes studying so incredibly efficient.
Last but not least, Section 6, Test Your Understanding. Let's do a really quick check to see if these phrases are sticking in your memory.
All right, here is your question. Fill in the blank. I plan to stay home, but I blank meeting an old friend. So is it A, ran into, or B, ended up? Take a second and think about the context here. Does this imply meeting someone totally by chance on the street, or does it imply a sudden change in your original plans?
And the answer is B, ended up. Since the sentence literally starts with, I plan to stay home, we immediately know the plan shifted. Maybe they called you at the last minute. Therefore, ended up is the absolute best fit. If you had just seen them at the grocery store, ran into would work perfectly, but because your plan changed, you ended up meeting them.
So, to wrap this whole thing up, I am challenging you to put this into practice right this second. Use that time, action, and feeling formula we just learned. Tell us, how was your yesterday? Drop one honest, natural-sounding sentence in the comments below. And hey, once you master talking about yesterday, ask yourself, are you just as confident talking about tomorrow? Think about that for a second. Keep reflecting, keep practicing those B2 phrases, and I will see you in the next explainer.